Have you ever wondered why you keep waking up to pee, not once, but 2, 3, even 4 times a night? If you think that's just a normal part of getting older, I've got news for you, it's not. And more importantly, it's your body trying to send you a warning about something much bigger happening inside. Most people, and even some doctors, jump straight to blaming the prostate, or maybe a weak bladder. But here's the surprising truth. In over 90% of cases, your prostate isn't the real problem. The actual root cause is something completely different, and unless you fix that, no medication, supplement, or bathroom trick will work long-term. In this video, I'm going to reveal exactly what's really causing your nighttime trips to the bathroom, why so many treatments fail, and the simple changes you can make today to sleep through the night again. The root cause: insulin resistance, the real culprit. The real reason most people wake up several times at night to pee isn't what they think. It's not always a prostate issue, an overactive bladder, or just getting older. The true underlying cause, in over 90% of cases, is something called insulin resistance. This is a condition that disrupts how your body handles both blood sugar and insulin, and it silently wreaks havoc on your bladder and kidneys. Here's what happens. When you eat, especially foods high in carbohydrates, your body releases insulin to help move sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells for energy. But if you develop insulin resistance, your cells stop responding to insulin the way they should. To compensate, your pancreas works overtime, flooding your system with even more insulin. Over time, this chronically high insulin doesn't just affect your blood sugar, it also overstimulates your kidneys and bladder. High insulin sends signals to your kidneys to filter more often, even if you're not drinking extra fluids. On top of that, insulin resistance tends to elevate blood sugar, and wherever sugar goes, water follows. Your body tries to flush out that excess sugar through your urine, which is why you keep waking up to pee. Even if your blood sugar seems normal during the day, insulin itself can directly overstimulate the nerves that control your bladder, creating that constant sense of urgency. This is exactly why prostate medications, bladder supplements, or even drinking less water before bed often fail to fix the problem because they're treating the wrong issue. If insulin resistance is the real trigger, and for most people, it is, the only real solution is to correct insulin resistance itself. The hidden domino effect: how insulin resistance wrecks your bladder and kidneys. When you think about nighttime urination, you probably picture your bladder filling up with too much liquid. But what most people don't realize is that your bladder, kidneys, hormones, and even your muscles are all part of a delicate system, and when insulin resistance enters the picture, it starts a domino effect that throws everything off balance. First, insulin resistance triggers high cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. When cortisol rises, especially at night, your body becomes more alert, your bladder becomes more sensitive, and your kidneys start working overtime. This is a big reason stress and poor sleep often go hand in hand with nighttime urination. Next, insulin resistance depletes magnesium, a critical mineral that helps your muscles, including your bladder muscles, relax and function properly. Without enough magnesium, both your bladder and your pelvic floor, the muscles that help you hold urine, become weaker, making it harder to control your bladder during the night. At the same time, insulin resistance causes a drop in testosterone, a hormone most people associate with men but is also vital for women. Low testosterone further weakens bladder muscle tone, making leaks and frequent urges even more common in both men and women. Your kidneys also suffer. Chronically high insulin puts excess strain on your kidneys, which are responsible for filtering your blood and balancing your body's fluids. Over time, this can damage your kidneys and increase the need to urinate, especially at night. For women, there's an added factor: insulin resistance weakens the pelvic floor muscles even further, making nighttime bladder control even harder. Together, these chain reactions create the perfect storm, and until you address insulin resistance itself, these problems will keep disrupting your sleep. Why prostate treatments and medications fail for most people. If you're a man dealing with nighttime urination, it's completely understandable to think your prostate must be the problem. After all, that's what we've been told for decades, that prostate enlargement, BPH, is the main reason men wake up to pee. In fact, many doctors automatically prescribe prostate medications without digging deeper into the real cause. But here's the truth: if insulin resistance is driving your frequent urination, those prostate pills won't fix the problem. Why? Because they're treating the wrong issue. If your prostate isn't the root cause, shrinking it won't stop your bladder from overreacting to insulin spikes or your kidneys from filtering too much sugar at night. And for women, it's even clearer. Women don't even have a prostate, yet millions of women suffer from the exact same problem, waking up multiple times to pee at night. This alone is a huge clue that something other than the prostate is at work. The moral of the story is simple: if you don't fix insulin resistance, you'll stay stuck in the cycle of poor sleep, frequent bathroom trips, and frustration, no matter what pills, supplements, or bladder tricks you try. Biggest mistake: late-night snacking, the #1 trigger. If you could make just one change to dramatically improve your nighttime urination, this is it: stop snacking after dinner. It might sound too simple to be true, but this one habit triggers a powerful chain reaction that can either set you up for peaceful sleep or leave you running to the bathroom all night. Here's why: every time you eat, even a small snack, your insulin spikes. And the later you eat, the worse this becomes. If you snack right before bed, your insulin rises just as your body is trying to shift into rest and repair mode. That late-night insulin surge sends a direct signal to your kidneys and bladder, telling them to start filtering more and pushing out more fluid. This is especially true if you snack on carbs, sugar, or even healthy options like fruit, yogurt, or nuts. The solution is a simple, no exceptions rule: no food after dinner. Cut out evening snacks entirely, even the healthy ones. Give your body time to lower insulin before bed, and you'll be amazed how much calmer your bladder becomes. One habit: no nighttime snacks, could be the key to sleeping through the night again. The vicious cycle: poor sleep makes it worse. Nighttime urination doesn't just disrupt your sleep, it also feeds directly into insulin resistance, creating a vicious cycle that makes the whole problem even worse. Every time you wake up to pee, your body experiences a small burst of stress, raising levels of cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. And when cortisol rises, especially at night, it raises your blood sugar, even if you haven't eaten anything. That rise in blood sugar triggers the release of even more insulin to bring your sugar back down. The higher your insulin climbs, the more likely you are to crave snacks the next day, especially sugary or carb-heavy comfort foods. And if you give in to those cravings, guess what? You spike insulin again, which deepens your insulin resistance, keeping the cycle going. So poor sleep isn't just a result of nighttime urination, it's a direct driver of insulin problems, which then leads to even more nighttime peeing. It's a self-reinforcing loop that will never stop unless you break it, by lowering insulin and improving sleep at the same time. The good news: once you understand this cycle, you can finally take back control, starting tonight. Step-by-step action plan: fix nighttime peeing for good. If you're tired of waking up all night to pee, the good news is that you have the power to fix this, naturally. But it's not about just drinking less water before bed or taking a prostate pill. To truly stop nighttime urination, you need to correct the underlying insulin resistance that's driving the whole problem. Here's a step-by-step plan to do exactly that. Stop all snacking after dinner. This is the single most powerful change you can make. After dinner, your body should be transitioning into repair mode, not digestion mode. Every time you eat, especially at night, your insulin spikes. When you sleep with high insulin, your kidneys and bladder are triggered to work overtime. And this isn't just about junk food. Even so-called healthy snacks, like fruit, yogurt, nuts, or protein bars, can keep your insulin elevated, especially if eaten close to bedtime. The solution is set a firm rule: no food after dinner. This gives your body a chance to lower insulin naturally before bed, reducing nighttime bladder overstimulation. Trust me, for many people, this one habit change alone brings massive relief. Switch to a low-carb, insulin-friendly diet. Snacking is just part of the picture. Your overall diet matters too, because every time you eat carbohydrates, you trigger insulin. To correct insulin resistance, you need to keep your daily carb intake low, ideally under 30 grams per day. So what should you eat? Focus on non-starchy vegetables, like leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower. Add healthy fats, avocados, olive oil, nuts, seeds. Eat quality proteins, wild-caught fish, grass-fed beef, organic eggs. And just as important, what to avoid: sugars, including hidden sugars in sauces, dressings, and snacks. Grains, bread, pasta, rice, cereals, they all spike insulin. Processed foods, full of hidden carbs and inflammatory oils that worsen insulin resistance. This way of eating steadies your blood sugar and lowers insulin all day long, setting you up for better nights. Add intermittent fasting. Once your meals are dialed in, the next step is to space those meals apart, giving your body long breaks without insulin spikes. That's where intermittent fasting comes in. Eat 3 meals a day, no snacks between. Once that feels easy, progress to 2 meals a day, lunch and dinner, skipping breakfast. This stretches the time your body spends in a low insulin state, which speeds up insulin resistance reversal and calms your bladder. Get enough healthy salt. You may have heard that salt causes water retention, but here's the twist: too little salt triggers higher cortisol. And as we already know, higher cortisol equals more nighttime urination. Many people, especially those on low-carb diets, don't get enough natural salt, which disrupts fluid balance and puts extra stress on the bladder. Use Himalayan salt or sea salt liberally on your meals. Avoid highly processed table salt, which lacks essential minerals. A balanced intake of natural salt supports your adrenal glands, regulates fluid balance, and helps your bladder relax overnight. Boost testosterone and strengthen bladder muscles. Both men and women need healthy testosterone levels to maintain strong bladder muscles. But insulin resistance lowers testosterone, further weakening bladder control. Add strength training, resistance exercises like squats, lunges, or weightlifting. Eat zinc-rich foods, like beef, shellfish, and pumpkin seeds. For women, especially after menopause, weak pelvic floor muscles can worsen bladder control. That's why regular pelvic floor exercises, Kegels, can help rebuild strength and control, making it easier to hold urine overnight. Correct magnesium and vitamin D deficiency. 2 nutrients are especially important for both bladder control and insulin resistance. Magnesium helps your bladder muscles relax and reduces nerve overactivity. Vitamin D enhances insulin sensitivity and supports restful sleep. Many people are low in both, especially as they age. Suggested daily intake: check with your doctor. Magnesium, glycinate or citrate, about 400 milligrams per day. Vitamin D3, around 5,000 IU per day. Taken together, these 2 nutrients can significantly calm your bladder, improve sleep, and restore metabolic health. Fix your sleep quality, the final critical step. Even if you follow every step above, poor sleep itself can keep the cycle going. Remember, broken sleep raises cortisol, worsens insulin resistance, and leads to even more nighttime urination. That's why protecting your sleep is essential. Make your bedroom dark, cool, and quiet. Avoid screens, phones, TVs, tablets, for at least an hour before bed. Blue light disrupts melatonin. Practice relaxation techniques. Deep breathing, meditation, or gentle stretching before bed can lower cortisol and prepare your body for deep sleep. Even small improvements to sleep quality, like getting 30 minutes more deep sleep, can make a huge difference in bladder calmness and overall health. When you follow this complete plan, cutting out late-night snacks, switching to low-carb meals, adding fasting, getting the right minerals, boosting your strength, and improving your sleep, you're not just stopping nighttime urination. You're reversing insulin resistance, protecting your kidneys, balancing hormones, and giving your whole body the rest and repair it desperately needs. It's a full-body reset, and for most people, the results come faster than you'd expect. What to avoid completely. When it comes to fixing nighttime urination, what you don't do is just as important as what you do. There are a few common habits that make this problem much worse, and cutting them out can make a huge difference. First, avoid drinking too much before bed. Hydration is important, but the timing matters. Try to get most of your fluids earlier in the day, and taper off in the evening. Drinking large amounts of water right before bed primes your bladder to wake you up. Next, cut out alcohol and caffeine after 5 p.m. Both are bladder irritants, meaning they make your bladder more sensitive and prone to urgency. Plus, alcohol disrupts deep sleep, which increases nighttime cortisol, another trigger for middle-of-the-night bathroom trips. Finally, stay away from low-fat, high-carb diets. This outdated diet advice spikes insulin and worsens insulin resistance, the very problem driving nighttime urination for most people. Instead, focus on a low-carb, higher healthy fat diet to keep insulin low and your bladder calm. By avoiding these triggers, you're giving your body the best possible chance to heal and finally sleep through the night, without all those frustrating trips to the bathroom. Track your progress. If you want to speed up your results and truly understand what's triggering your nighttime urination, keeping a simple pee journal for just 1 week can be incredibly eye-opening. Each day, write down what you ate, especially after dinner. What time you went to bed and when you woke up to pee. How many times you had to get up during the night. This simple habit will help you spot patterns. You might notice that eating certain foods, like bread, pasta, or even a healthy evening snack, makes your bladder go into overdrive. By tracking your food and sleep alongside your bathroom trips, you'll gain clear insight into what helps and what hurts your progress. The most important thing to remember is this: nighttime urination isn't just a normal part of aging, it's a warning sign that your body is struggling with insulin resistance. When you fix insulin resistance, you're not just solving nighttime peeing, you're improving your kidneys, hormones, energy, sleep, and overall health. The top 3 steps to get started: stop all snacks after dinner. Switch to a low-carb, healthy fat diet. Add intermittent fasting, even just 12 to 14 hours to start. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more practical, science-backed health tips.